for making all our lives better. I know that you love that song, so we just put that on just for you. Massive birthday shouts going out to you as well. Priscilla Osei, my girl, today is your birthday. Happy birthday, and all the best of luck to you at Pebble, and congratulations for all the things that you're doing. We are sitting down now to speak to one of the key figures for the government side when it comes to gender and social protection issues, and she'll be answering some of our questions and yours. Recently, caterers under the Ghana School Feeding Program heaved a huge sigh of relief as the government took steps to pay some of the arrears owed them for the third term of the 2022 academic year, and that happened this week. The caterers have been on the neck of the government demanding payments of the arrears. In the studio this morning, the lady in charge of the ministry, Sector Minister, Gender and Social Protection, Hajia Laraba Zuwaira Abdu, is here to explain some of the issues to us and help us to understand why the delays happened. Hajia, thank you for making the time and welcome to GTV Breakfast.
Thank you for having me. I'm very grateful.
How many days on the job now? And already
yes, some few months.
You're feeling the heat.
Sure.
And it was the caterers, right?
Well,
was that the first issue you had to unpack when you started?
No, we have been engaging them for quite since I took over.
So why the delay then? Why did government wait until things got to this?
Well, I don't think government delayed in processing their payment. And if you look at what happened in Kumasi, it wasn't much about payment. It was much about prices of goods have increased, so they were looking for increase. That was some in terms of their daily what we give them. I think
which
that
was
the
97.
Basic, which was 97.
Pesos.
Or 1 cedi. It was 1 cedi. 1 cedi.
And has that happened? Has the increase been effected?
Well, we have proposed something, 1 cedi, 20 pesos for now, but we are still in talks with finance. If there will be increase, they will let us know.
Is 1 cedi 20 pesos
now
per child?
Per child.
That's a suggestion, or that's what you will start paying?
Well, that's what I would start paying 2023 budget.
But for the arrears that are owed them,
yeah, we will pay it.
The assurance is that everyone has got their money.
The arrears that are owed them, I've assured them. Yesterday I had a meeting with their leadership, and I've assured them today the money will hit their accounts.
Another assurance, so not a payment, but an assurance of payment.
The payment. The money has gone to GIFS, so I know GIFS will do the payment. They will do the payment today.
But you understood the agitations that they had, that when they asked for the increase, I understand they asked for 5 cedis per child, and as against what we know to be the current situation, market prices, food prices going up, you think that to come up a bit on the 97 to 1 cedi 20 pesos will help them to give the children nutritious meals in school?
Well, I wouldn't say it would completely help to give nutritious meal, but at least there's an increase. But 5 cedis, I know that one too. They themselves know that government can absorb.
Perhaps they were asking for 5, so that if it's beat down, they'll get maybe
so definitely
3 or 4.
we are in talks with them. We are still bargaining with them. So, but for now, because they need to feed the children. So for now, 1 cedi 20 pesos has been proposed. So they can cook with 1 cedi 20 pesos. Then after the negotiation, if there's any increment, then they are good to go.
Why the delay in paying? We are talking about people who cooked last year for the third term, and they've only now received their monies. It means that for 2023, the numbers have not even started adding up yet.
I don't think it's a complete delay that they are talking about, because there's a process. When you cook, you need to go through a process before you are being paid. We paid 2022 first term. We paid 2022 second term. It was left with the third term. The last 2022 third term that we are paying now. And it was because of the proposal of increment, that delay, because we're still debating with them how much to go. They were saying 5 cedis, some were saying 3 cedis, then we're still debating. And it has to go through Parliament. When you increase something, it has to go to Parliament for approval. So this were all have contributed to some of the delay. Parliament has to approve the rate that we should pay.
How many caterers are we talking about?
We are talking about 34,800 and something caterers. It's huge.
34,000. And how much was owed them?
I think we're owing them about 224,000, 24 million Ghana cedis.
24 million.
224 million Ghana cedis.
For only the third term?
For only the third term, second term, 2022 third term. 2022 third term. Yeah.
And that money you're saying that has been released?
Oh yeah, it has been released.
And when is it hitting the account?
Today.
Close of day today?
Yeah.
The caterers are watching us.
Oh yes. I don't say things when I don't have my hands on them.
Hadia.
Yeah.
There are people who have issues with their Eastwish cards.
Yes.
How is that being resolved?
Yeah, I think we have about 76 of them who have mismatched names and Eastwish. Normally it happens. So what they will do, they will come to the secretariat, bring their phone number, then we'll look at it. Some use their children's phones. Some also misplace their phones and then they go to take other people's phones and then give the numbers. So definitely when you go to gifts, the original number, if it's not there, they can't transfer the money. So they will come. When we do this payment, they will come for correction and then their money will release.
It means those people will not necessarily get their monies today?
They won't get their money. And that I've already told them. This number won't get. So, but if you are one of them, come to the secretariat. They do the corrections and then your money is released.
What effort is going into ensuring that the quality of food, which people have complained about, is improved?
Yes. I don't want to say totally everywhere there's no quality. It depends on where you went and then you saw the food. But in other areas, I have gone around myself. There was a school we went here in Accra here. In fact, the lady prepared banku and okra stew. And the students were very happy. They said, oh, for Mameya, we enjoy her food. You know, and I myself, when I saw that, I said, wow, you are doing great. Where I'm coming from, northern region, I went there, and then the food, very nutritious. You know, we have a lot of nutritious food. Alefu in season, yam in season. Then we need to train them. We need to let them know you can use your local food. When the food is in season, do the local food for the children. It's not all about rice and oil. And we even want to reduce the oil aspect of feeding children, healthy eating. So we have put a team in place. We'll go around and then retrain the caterers. Yeah. They need to be trained.
What goes into verifying or accepting someone to be a caterer under the school feeding program? Surely they come with some qualification.
Yeah, sure.
And how is that monitored? Because quality of food is solely up to the caterer who's making the food. So how are they monitored?
Yeah, before you are being hired, there's a form that we put out there. You show interest that you want to be part of the school feeding caterer. You fill the form. You do medical checkup. We let them do medical checkups. Then we will know that you are of good health. You can do the cooking and all those things. Then we'll look at the quality of the utensils that you are using. What are you using to do the cooking, and even the environment that you are doing the cooking. We have a monitoring team that go around and do all those things before we hire you. So we do a background check on you, especially the health factor is key.
But then, so that is to before you get on.
Yeah, before you get on board. Yeah, before you are hired.
Whilst you're on, is there also a monitoring team that
periodically?
ensures?
Yes, the monitoring still do a periodical check on health. We let them go and do another health screening. You know, during the COVID, we made all of them to do COVID, and then get their COVID card, and then did the booster, just to make sure that they are doing good for the kids. Yeah.
Honorable Minister, because you are directly in charge of this ministry, sanitary pads and the taxes on the pads are quite exorbitant. Recently, there's been calls after calls for a scrapping of those taxes.
Yeah.
GRA is telling us that it would require parliamentary approval to amend parts of the law that would make the removal even possible. What are you doing? You've heard the calls. What are you doing?
I even had a petition. They brought me a petition. Yeah, some CSOs brought a petition. And then we are collaborating with Minister of Finance, you know, to look at it. And as they said, it has to go back to Parliament because it was part of a Parliament decision. So it has to go back for them to take that decision. So we all we're resuming today. Parliament is resuming today. And I know definitely they will send a petition to them. Then the Committee of Finance and Health will look at it and they'll come out with whatever suggestion that they have.
But getting an aspect of the law changed might take some time. In the meantime, what's the plan?
But the plan is still to engage. You see, it's not my ministry alone. It's hinged on health too. It's about sanitary part. Education is part. So these three ministries will look at it. Will say that. I think they have tasked the three ministries to look at it. And then we'll also send a paper to Parliament.
Who taxed the ministries?
Yeah, when it came, I think petition went to education too. They came to my ministry, and then Parliament and Health Ministry. So we had a meeting, and we should sit down. The committees should sit down and look at it. And Parliament, we have committees too in Parliament. I know they will go there, so they will also look at it. They will call us. We'll all sit down and see. Then finally, if there's anything, Parliament will do that.
What would be some of the suggestions you are putting on the table to make sure that this change?
Well, for now, we need to Jojo. We need to listen to other stakeholders. What actually went into that, we need to know. And then if there's any suggestion that we give.
What went into the taxes?
Yes.
So I'll read out
finance,
a few of them.
Yeah, finance, we need to know.
I'll read out a few of the taxes that are on there.
And then why can't we also look at our within local manufacturing to also do sanitary passing?
There is a conversation about local manufacturing.
Yeah, so we need to do that.
Just to go over the taxes again, there's a 20% import duty on sanitary pad.
Import.
Yes. There is a 0.5% ECOWAS levy. There's a 15% network charges VAT. I don't know what that network charge means. There's an import NHIL, which is 2.5%. There's a 1% IRS tax deposit. There's a 0.75% EXIM levy, 2.5% network get fund, 15% import VAT, 0.4% processing fee, 2.5% network NHIL again, 2% special import levy, 2.5% get fund import levy, 1% inspection fee, and 1% COVID-19 health recovery levy, as well as a 0.2% Africa Union import levy.
So you see that there are a lot of people involved in coming out with this import tax, because even ECOWAS and AU and all those. So all these things have to be part of the consultations, so that maybe some can be win off. So we'll do a very thorough consultation, because all these people are part, ECOWAS and AU and all those. So you need to do consultations on that.
So are those what we refer to as luxury taxes?
Well, come again?
Luxury materials. So we understand that in some circles, they are calling some of these taxes they impose some of these taxes on luxury products. Well, so the suggestion is the sanitary pad a luxury product?
To me, it's not it's a necessity. And then if we're talking of scrapping sanitary pads, maybe because their target is the school going people, that some of them can provide sanitary pad.
Even some persons who may be older than school going age may not be able to afford.
Fine. So we have to sit down as a country and look at it. What do we do? If it is the school going age, can we do something on that aspect? So still stakeholders consultation is key.
You talked about local production. I know that there are a few people who have made suggestions about how we can produce some of these materials locally. There is a group, I believe they are from the UDS, that make pads from plantain fiber. Do you know about them?
No. Plantain fiber.
They are called Kodu Technology.
Okay.
Have you
I know.
seen any of their work?
No.
We understand they are based in Tamale.
No, I'm not privy to that.
Perhaps we'll reach out to our friends in that part of town to get in touch with some of these people. Yesterday, Maltese met with a Kenyan MP, and she also talked about local manufacturing of sanitary pads.
We did.
So there are 6+ companies who are producing sanitary pads in Kenya.
Okay.
And so if there are also engagements to be had about how they are doing it and how they are succeeding, perhaps those people would be good to consult
Sure.
the Kenyans to offer some insights into the matter.
That would be good. So maybe during the consultation, we'll see how best we can contact them.
Okay, so go to technology.
And then they
get in
too,
touch
maybe
with the
they have to
minister in the
check,
office.
they have to look at the market and competition and can also come in. They can come in and then try to educate as much on their product. And then if government is interested, why not?
So let's talk about the state of our schools, for example, and what the gender minister, your role would be in improving the conditions of schools. I know that the Ministry of Education is largely in charge, but when it comes to the Ministry of Gender, how do you contribute to improving the state of education across the country?
Well, we partner GES. We do a lot of sensitization in most of the schools, especially the girl child. We normally go to educate them of their rights. You know, they should be able to be very assertive in whatever activities that they are doing in school. We tell them to always be in school, to try to educate themselves. As gender ministry, we are looking at the girl child aspect, but education is doing a lot too. They are in charge of GES, they provide schools, they provide chairs and all those things for schools, and it's very good.
There was a campaign, Send Your Girl Child to School. That was largely driven by the gender ministry.
Very good campaign.
Would you say that it has helped? What's our girl child enrollment looking like?
Yeah.
And how do we not leave the boys behind so that we don't raise empowered women for non-empowered men?
Yeah. It was a very laudable jingle. We all benefited from that, you know, because it rings into your ear. You have to send your girl child to school, and some of the girls, a small girl, listen to them, want to go to school, and then it has actually impacted. Very, very grateful, because now my generation and today you can count a lot of girls in school, and even with the school feeding, we have a lot of girls in school. You see, those days when you take the enrollment of girls and boys, from the beginning of the year, girls were more than boys. But as it goes, at a point, the JSS level, you see that there's a drop-off of girls, leaving the boys. You know, and most of them are unfortunate children who are here, like Kaya and all those things. But now, because of school feeding, the girls are in school. When you go to the schools now, the numbers, girls are outnumbering the boys now in school. So they now understand that it's good to be in school, because you can go to school and you can get a meal and then you're good to go. So it's a very good program.
And that's why situations like the sanitary pads issue need
it's key.
Resolution, because
we are not sleeping on it.
One of the reasons why girls absent themselves from school, because at that time of the month they would rather not be in school than to go through the embarrassment.
We are not sleeping on it. I don't think government is sleeping on it. They will do something about it.
And what are some of the gender-specific things that you're doing for boys in school?
So normally when there's a minister for gender, children and social policy, I say with men, including the men. Because if you say gender, it cuts across. It's not only women. So we are doing it. We are not leaving men behind. They are on board, you know. So we cancel a lot of men, especially on the gender-based violence. When it comes, there's some domestic gender-based violence in the home. We normally, when it's reported to us, we normally call the man and try to sit with him and then talk to him. His communication is that, and they go back and they are happily living together.
Spousal killings and spousal abuse has been on the increase recently. We see people in all kinds of relationships which have deteriorated to the point of harm and to the point of even one person taking another's life. What's the ministry doing about this recent spate of spousal and killings within relationships?
Sensitization. We have been sensitizing a lot of women in the communities, and we have a secretariat for that. That's the Gender-Based Violence Secretariat. We have even gone ahead with a lot of NGOs and set up networks there. You call. There's an app that you have to call when you are being threatened in the house. You see, don't wait for it to happen.
There's a number to call?
Yeah, there's a number to call. It's 800-800. 800 is, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the number to call.
To call.
If you're
it's toll free. You
Okay.
call and nobody charges you. And 24/7, we have put people in place. When you call, they will come to your rescue. They will come with the police. If it is clear, they come with the police. But if it's the man, or some of them even walking, this is what is happening in my house. Then we call the police and they invite the man. Then we talk and it goes back.
The number one reason why we are told some people are not able to leave is because they have nowhere to go. Are there conversations about putting a certain shelter in place, which would be a temporary place for people to go and seek help until they are able to find their own way or to make their own way?
We have shelters. We have a shelter in Accra, and we have some NGOs that we are working who have shelters. So at times when our shelter is full, we send them to those NGOs.
And all those services can be accessed if the person calls the number?
Oh yes. When you call the truth, some even come just with something small, a dress or one dress. We take care of that. You have to provide immediately. You have to provide all those amenities before you even start the case. So they come. Yeah, I would love you to come one day and see what happens.
I think we would
yeah, you have to visit. When you visit there, you'll be happy to see the call that comes every day. Every day.
What happens with the perpetrators? And are we able to say for certain that some of these cases are followed and concluded and seen? Do you see that they go through the legal process so that it will serve as a deterrent to other people who might be involved in those acts?
We do. We follow the case to the end of it. It depends on the gravity of the case, the degree of the case. If it involves like father killing, as you're saying, this is a very criminal case, and that one should be reported to the police. Normally, there will be a desk officer who will be following, but the police handles that one, then it goes to court. Then all the time, anytime the case is being called, we have an officer there who updates the ministry where the case is. You know, just that we try to educate family members for interfering. These are some of the problems. They interfere too much. Family members, oh, this is just a husband and wife, so blah, blah, blah. And that's where the problems are. So we educate them. Look, every human being right should be protected. Every human being life should be protected. So let's deal with the case. We have prosecuted a lot of people, those of that. There was a case, the man is in jail.
I'm happy to hear that,
yes,
because
that was
gender-based violence is really...
Yeah, and we need to also sensitize our young girls. It is some of the things that we see in the media and everything normally doesn't apply in real life situations. Some of them we need to educate a lot of girls.
Explain that.
Yeah, because if you look at a soap novella, maybe a TV show or something, you know, and you replicate it it may not work that way. They say, so you need to have a very friendly conversation with your spouse and not the one that you saw on TV. Yeah, it's not the best.
You talk about respect for human rights.
Yeah.
It's 2023 and still witches' camps exist, especially in the northern part of our country. Recently, you've been on a drive to pay a visit to some of these places. Why? What's happening? First of all, what have you observed? Are their conditions any better?
Yeah, I would say yes, compared to where they came from, because you were being molested by a community because they claim you as something that you say you don't know, and then you have a shelter somewhere. At least they feed you, they clothe you there. It's far better than when you are coming. So I would say not totally where they are, because it will only be comfortable in your own home than somebody's home. But for your life's sake, where they are now, I would say we are working at it to send them back. And the last time I went there, 120 something women.
Which of the camps?
At the Gambaga camp. The Gambaga camp. 124 women have been sent back to the communities. So the last I had 61, but the recent one, they now multiply to 94 plus 4 men. You know, they're also been accused of being wizard or whatever, and they are in the camp. So we are still in talks with them, and most of them want to go home. And then progressively, we'll definitely win them over. But you need to do a lot of things. They will tell you if you do ABC, go to the community, talk to them, they banish me. Are they ready to accept me back? You need to sensitize the community. You need to sensitize her own children. And some of them feel that I don't want to go back to the house again. Why can't you get me a small house to live? You know, they have conditions too. So some of them, their children build and come and take them willingly. And others too, those who are accusing them say, okay, fine, now she can come back. Then they take them back. And then others are still there who just feel like, I've been traumatized. Let me be here for some time. And we're still talking to them. And we are looking at building age homes, you know, where we can equip with a lot of amenities that will make them more comfortable than where they are. So it's all part of my plan.
So to convert the witches' camps into aged
maybe
homes?
Aged homes, you know, where elsewhere it's been done well. You can equip with a lot of professional training, can take care of them, all those. You know, they only accuse the elderly, not the. But the last time when they were young ones, and I was happy that even though they're in school, so we are looking at how we can support them.
Before you leave, let's talk about what happened in Wager for a minute, and the 9 children who lost their lives.
Very unfortunate
as they
situation.
Went to school.
Very
What's the ministry
situation.
doing? What's the latest on your desk to you know, support the community? Is there a plan to build a school or not build a school, build a bridge or not build a bridge? 9 lives are lost now.
Well, we are looking at it like NADMO came in. GES is one of the responsible agencies for that. And then since it's concerned children, we also went to have a first-hand information about what happened. And then we were told they were trying to go to school. But I would suggest that if they should get a school nearby, I think the government can do that, maybe three classrooms nearby so that they don't cross. And even if they are to cross, we need to put some safety measures. Let's get the canoe owners, train them professionally, give them life jackets, you know, so know that.
Is it the gender ministry that will lead a drive like that?
We will lead a drive because we are also a responsible stakeholder. We can lead a drive. We can talk to NADMO, we can talk to government and then say, look, if we can do AB, get in the classroom now, but we can do AB, that shouldn't cost much. Get in the can and train them professionally, get them life jackets. You know, it's very important so that at least they can be crossing and go to school because they want to educate themselves and help the country. So they should be protected. So we're doing that. Yeah.
It looks like you have a lot on your plate. I wish you had time to look at interests and collaterals for women who want to do business. Is the ministry interested in a conversation of that sort, or is that being done already?
Some years back, the ministry was able to give some soft loan to women, especially the Kaya people. But now, getting the banks to support in that regard is a bit challenge because the interest rates. But I met Absa Bank, who wants to support a lot of women. So we are still, we haven't concluded what they actually want, how much they will be given. And then when we conclude, we'll see how many women we can support. You know, and what are they going to use the money for? You need to know. You know, when you just give money to women and then everybody's selling one thing, it doesn't work well. So we need to look at priorities areas where we can let them venture. Like the Kaya, if I have, I'm still talking with some group. Most of them have smartphones, the Kaya girls there. What are they using them for? Just for pictures and all those. Can we train them to use the phone, snap tomatoes, onion, put it out there. Somebody wants it, they go and deliver and take their money. It's business. Can we put them under an agency? Because 20 years down the line, they are here. They won't go back.
And the numbers are increasing.
And the numbers are increasing.
And they are having children.
Yes.
Are the children in school?
Yes, which is just unfortunate situation. Especially me here coming from that area. You see, some of them, not that they are coming from poor areas, but just like we all want to go to America. You see, so I'm there. My friend comes from Accra. I also want to go to Accra. So not that their life, their living condition is very bad. Well, I know most of them, and I know where I do ask them, why here? You see, so I'm looking at it. What do we do? Because they won't go. They go and come out. So what do we do? You know, in every country you get this kind of people slums. So what do we do different? So we are still talking with agencies to see how we can help.
Your final comments before we leave. What do you want to achieve with this ministry?
I want to leave a legacy of transparency and accountability of that ministry. I want to see a very transformative ministry of gender friendly. You see, so that you can walk in as a woman, a man, a girl with your problems, and we'll be ready to solve that problem for you, so that you'll be free to contribute your quota to Ghana development.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very grateful.
Minister for Gender and Social Protection, Hajia Laraba Zuwaira Abudu.
I thought you would have asked him of the affirmative action bill, where every lady wants to see where it is.
Well,
yeah.
Do you want that to be
affirmative action bill will be passed.
Parliament is resuming.
Yes, Parliament is resuming.
Should we expect it this session?
Oh, I hope it will go to Parliament, because President is key to pass it. To pass it. So it went to Cabinet. There was some fine tune. We came in, we're finalizing it for Cabinet approval, then Parliament. Parliament is waiting. They will do it.
We'll follow up.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
The Minister for Gender and Social Protection, Hajia Laraba Zuwaira Abudu,
sitting
with
so
us right here on GTV Breakfast. We'll take a quick break. When we return, there are more conversations. The University of Ghana will be sitting with us from the business school after the break.
Okay.